Question we had that we've been teasing. Think about what the Rams did. They went all in for that Super Bowl. I wonder if Niner fans would be okay going through what the Rams are going through right now. All in on one Super Bowl, followed by a couple bad years. Would Niner fans do what the Rams, if you had it your way, and the Niners did what the Rams did, going all in on these players, the Jalen Ramseys, all the running backs they had, all the receivers, Odell Beckham Jr., would the Niners be okay with that plan of going all in on the Super Bowl, knowing that, you know what, the next couple years, it's going to be a struggle? I bet you a lot of Niner fans they would be all in on that Rams plan because a lot of Niner fans, especially ones that listen to us, weren't even born the last time the Niners won a Super Bowl.
I'm getting so many Van Halen texts right now.
Van Halen?
I would absolutely go through 1 or 2 down years. And the reason why, B, is because they've been knocking on the door for so long, right? For so long. I just want that one. I want that one. Once we get that one, I'll take a down year. I'll take it down 5 years, honestly. Like, B, I've sat through some bad 49er football.
Yeah.
I am so sick of knocking on the door and not finally plunging through. I think if the Niners were just like really bad for a long time, like I look at the Jaguars right now. I do not think the Jaguars should be sacrificing all of their future for the right now.
No.
I feel like they have a long runway, and I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Right? Like, but that's just my view. I feel like the Niners, the Chiefs, because of where they're at, like they have a chance to be all-time great. Right? And rattle off as many as they possibly can. I think there are certain organizations that it's okay to be all in right now. And I look at the 49ers and I'm like, money is really not an option.
Right.
So let's say they blow all their money in their draft picks, just hypothetically, this year and next year to win one in the next 2 years.
Everybody would take that.
All day. I don't worry about the repercussions moving forward. I haven't even committed to paying Brock Purdy. We will let that just kind of play itself out.
No
right?
doubt.
I got a lot of guys like Christian McCaffrey. I don't know if I want to pay him 3 years from now. Right? So I'm paying him top dollar now, but I don't know. Debo, I don't know. George Kittle, I don't know. Trent Williams might not even be in the league 3 years from now.
Right.
I want to be all in for right now. Because think about this. If you're Sean Payton, right, and he looks back at his career, don't you think he wishes he went all in a little earlier his career?
New Orleans, no doubt.
I felt like they went all in at the end. New Orleans.
And it was too late.
It was too little too late.
That window closed. Drew Brees wasn't the same guy. He didn't have the same zip on his deep ball. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That became a dink and dunk quarterback.
Right? How about the Patriots at the end with Tom Brady? Right. You don't think that, and then they maximize. They are as maximized as an organization could be. Don't you think they look back and go, man, maybe we should have got Tom some more weapons?
Should have just rided it out.
Yeah.
We should have just rode it out with Tom Brady.
What was the most bold trade they did in the final couple years with Brady?
No idea. They didn't make a lot of bold trades.
That's what I'm saying.
They traded players away.
The Niners have been ridiculously bold.
And you know what? So this whole all-in conversation with the Rams and them going all in a way, the Niners have gone all in.
No, they're absolutely.
You think about all the position players are paying top dollar. All the guys are paying top dollar premium money. The money they're spending on guaranteed contracts. It's over $400 million now by Jay York on just like 13 players. You know what I'm saying? Trent, George, Kittle, McCaffrey, Debo. Ike's going to get his bag. So in a way, the Niners are all in, and yet they've done it in a way to where they haven't had to mortgage a bunch of picks outside of the Trey Lance trade, right? They've had premium players, and they've drafted well later in the rounds. I think that's one thing the Rams haven't done. So, yeah, sure, we would trade. I would love the Rams Super Bowl. I would love to be, struggle after a couple years. But in a way, the Niners are already all in, and they don't have to struggle because they have a good model in place. They have a good plan in place when it comes to restructuring contracts, when it comes to getting in players on the cheap. Think about all their 5th, 6th, 7th round picks that have hit. They've had a great success rate in the later rounds of the draft under John Lynch and Adam Peters.
And I think you owe it to the homegrown guys that have been here since day one. The Kittles, the Debos, the Ayuks, the Warners, right? Those are the guys that you owe it to, Nick Bosa. You know, if you're going to spend all that premium money, might as well cash it in with memories that last a lifetime.
No doubt. I'm with you there. 888-957-9570. In a way, asking that question, and I'm thinking about it, I'm like, wait a minute. The Niners are all in. They've been all in basically the last 4 years. Heck, they were all in 2019. They traded for Emmanuel Sanders at the trade deadline, citing, you know what, we need another weapon on the outside. We need a veteran presence here at the wide receiver spot. They made that trade. You know what I'm saying? What did they give up, a third-round pick for Emmanuel Sanders?
If you could make a trade right now, hypothetically, what is the position that you're bolstering?
Right tackle.
But it's probably not available.
Yeah, somebody just asked us on the text line.
I would take another edge rusher. I don't think you can have enough edge pressure.
Oh, well, I love edge pressure. I think Drake look good. But 408 Xfinity Mobile text line. Should the Niners sign La'el Collins? Bring him in for a workout. See what he's got.
Why not?
It can't hurt.
Why not?
It cannot hurt.
I trust him more than Jalen Moore at this point.
Yeah, Jalen Moore, the walking turnstile. Jeez, Louise. So it can't hurt, but they don't have a lot of needs here. I would just bolster. Stack. You're right. Stack edge rushers. Stack position players. Just stack your roster any way possible.
I would also try to find maybe a undervalued slot receiver. Another one. Like I don't think you can have enough third down monsters. You know what I mean? As I call them, or a second tight end.
Right.
I mean that would be. That's how deep this team is.
Yeah,
we're talking about three things.
No doubt. Three things.
Think about 2018 heading into that year. You need a number one receiver.
Yeah.
You need a right tackle, a guard, a center. Oh, you need an edge rusher. Back in 2018, they needed everything.
Well, 49er all day, G King 49er all day. Bonte, are we not looking at Brian Burns from Carolina anymore? I believe that they can really help our pass rush. One thing we've learned about John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan, and Adam Peters, they're always working the phones. They're always looking for players.
Why I think this.
They brought in Ian Book yesterday to work out. Everybody lost their minds, but he signed with the Patriots practice squad. But that's what the Niners do. They're looking at everything. They're working nonstop. How can you not respect that? They're going to make a ton of mistakes. A ton of mistakes. They've made mistakes, big blunders, and we've criticized them for that. We've held them accountable for that. But you know what? When you ask a question, hey, you think the Niners are all in on Brian Burns? The Niners are in on everybody. That's one thing I've learned during this regime.
Yeah.
We're in year 7. Look, we talked about Christian McCaffrey before it happened, 16 days out. Did I think it was going to happen? No. I was like, you know what? Take a flyer on it. That showed me that the Niners are always working the phones to get better.
Don't forget, even the small acquisitions, like they made a Charles Ameni trade a couple years ago. It ended up being really big.
Yep.
They made a Jordan Willis acquisition in the middle of the year. Mm-hmm. It ended up paying dividends the following year when he blocked that field goal or punt in the Green Bay game. Like even the small acquisitions really do matter.
It does. It does. Little deals here and there, man. They know how to flip. They know how to squeeze a lemon, man. So I think they've done a great job in that. And so if Brian Burns is available, I think the Niners are linked with everybody. And they become a destination where players want to come. They want to come to this organization.
Can I ask you about the Stafford trade? Looking back on it, knowing everything we know now, even though you have Brock right now, is there anybody out there that still thinks that we should have made the Stafford deal? Because I think if I asked that same question a year ago, it would almost be unanimous. We probably should have taken the Stafford deal. It was tough to watch that Super Bowl. It was tough to see them win that. And I felt like Stafford made a couple more plays than Jimmy, and it was hard to swallow whole offseason.
And
does anybody still want him?
That's a great question. 888-957-9570.
Or feel like have buyer's remorse for not getting him.
I never wanted Stafford. I think we were both in the same boat. We never really wanted Stafford. We had our eyes on somebody else. That somebody else got caught up in massage parlors or whatnot, so we had to move off of that.
Well, he was having them come to him.
Yeah. I mean, but that's the player we were on. It was hard watching Stafford.
Phrasing on that,
dude. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
5 hours of sleep.
I know, me too.
It wasn't hard watching the Super Bowl because I felt like
that one hurt. The stupid no-look throw to Cooper Kupp and Odell Beckham looking good till you got hurt. Watching Aaron Donald get all of his flowers.
Joe Burrow get
that
broken
really
in half.
hurt me. McVay becoming a stud.
Joe Burrow getting smacked left and right.
That one left a bitter taste in my mouth.
But at the same time, Stafford threw a couple up. He threw the red zone interception to Jimmy Ward.
I know.
You know? He threw one straight to Jaquiski Tart. He tried to give the game away. So I never really wanted Stafford. But I wonder, any Niner fans out there wish they had Stafford right now? Or are you happy with Brock Purdy? I think a lot of people are happy with Brock. Let's go to Ryan in Oakland. Ryan, what's happening, man? You're on the roast.
Hello?
Hey, Ryan.
Yeah, hi. Yeah, I was just listening to you guys. This is my first time calling, right? And I love your show.
Thank you.
But I was just confused. You guys said that you would absolutely be okay with going all in, and we have a couple of down years. But I'm just wondering, why wasn't the same consideration given to the Warriors, right, who just won 4 championships, right? And then the ownership paid Steph Curry 50+, Klay Thompson 40-something million, Andrew Wiggins 30-something million, and Draymond Green 30-something million. If I'm the ownership and they came to me with that BS about those youngsters, get out my office. I'm paying you. Win me a championship. And so, for me, being a longtime Warrior fan, I'm talking about 40-something plus years. You know, when we had the Purvis Shorts and, you know, the Joe Barry Carrolls, you know, other year. I was so happy that we won that I was okay with rebuilding. I was okay because those guys got their money. And so you gotta, you know, so I just don't understand like why we couldn't be patient, because when we just lose a few games because of the youngsters, you guys, as of all your announcers were like just scrutinizing them hard. And I just didn't understand it. So what's the difference?
Well, Ryan, I got to say on this show,
interesting question.
It's a very interesting question, but let me pick up the last part first. On this show, I think we may be the only show in America who took the veterans to task, who said, you know what? They were in the game the last 5 minutes on that 0-5 road trip. They were playing in the fourth quarter.
I was the one who was apologizing to Clay's buddy yesterday.
Yeah,
You're like,
Seth, yeah, you didn't even have to bring it up. He had no idea. I was like, you played yourself.
Sorry.
Less is more sometimes, Shasky.
I know.
Less is more.
In-mouth disease.
But we were disappointed that the youngsters didn't play. You and I were.
I thought they got a raw deal.
They got a raw deal, and we said that all season long.
Not that they were great.
No.
But they got a raw deal.
But you know what? I also understand on the flip side, veterans saying, dude, we're in win now mode. These veterans aren't helping us. So I get that side of things. I do get that from the veteran standpoint. Now, Joe Lacob telling the veterans, hey, I'm paying you guys money. That's not how it works in the NBA.
Can we agree that the Warriors are almost uniquely similar to the Kansas City Chiefs, where every year that goes by, you don't get a championship? It's a complete and utter failure.
Because you got one of the best players in the league.
Which is an absurd thing to say out loud, which it feels almost impossible to achieve, but like that's what it feels like.
Right.
Like Mahomes and Steph, you know, it's the same thing with the Patriots.
Right.
If they didn't win a championship, it was a complete and utter failure.
No doubt. So I do think we hold the Warriors to accountability, and they are all in. They are all in. They wanted the youngsters to play well. But it just wasn't happening. Now, Kuminga and Moody are still here. We know why Jordan Poole's not here.
Well, I look at the Niners, and it's interesting because I think, in retrospect, as I'm thinking about the Stafford trade, right? The trade that never was for the Niners. At the time, my thought was like, well, why sacrifice for maybe one when you can have this runway of maybe more than one?
Right.
And maybe I was wrong on that. Maybe I overestimated, what they could be. But, like, I don't know.
Who knows if they win one?
I think if they had slightly better quarterback play, they would have won championship.
Here's the deal, though. With Stafford.
That feels unfair to Jimmy.
Yeah, but with Stafford, you're now taking on that contract.
Well, you'd be losing at least two players.
Right. You're losing baby Debo.
Well, think about this.
You're losing somebody.
He costs McCaffrey and Kittle. If you were to add them up, right? That's simplistic, but I'm just saying.
Javon Hargrave. You may not have him.
I don't know if I'm willing to do that. Like, this is not the same team. Like, can he overcome not having those weapons?
Yeah, I don't know.
And still be productive enough to offset the loss? I don't know.
I don't know.
I would say this. With Purdy, it feels open. With Stafford, it feels very closed in terms of your opportunity to win. And you might not win in either scenario. There's no guarantee.
And look, there's no guarantee Purdy wins. There's no guarantee Purdy's the guy. And what we're not going to do is crown him. But we're saying what we see is what we like. And what I see is a guy who's composed beyond his years. Now, we felt like that with Jimmy, and then Jimmy tore the ACL. He was never the same. He became skittish, but he never had to improv like Brock Purdy.
No.
Never had that. Brock Purdy's taking this offense to another level. Now, does it help to have Christian McCaffrey? People say, you bet your ass it does.
No, it hurts.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
does
it's terrible.
Like, you need weapons. Earth to everybody. You need weapons on offense. You need playmakers around a quarterback.
We made a lot of talk about, look at the Chiefs won a Super Bowl without Tyreek Hill. Wow, look at how great. And Mahomes is great. But then you watch that week one, he doesn't have Kelsey. And you tell me, one of the greatest players that the game has ever seen.
How did offense look?
I mean, he was dying for Juju Smith-Schuster, let alone Tyreek Hill in that game.
You need playmakers.
Absolutely.
You need playmakers.
I think one of the things we've underrated about Montana is like, Montana did it with anyone. Freddie Solomon was one of the most underrated Niners in wide receiver history in terms of the 49ers. Yeah. And then Dwight Clark although the numbers don't look gaudy, in that era, they were gaudy.
And he became one of the best wide receivers in pro football during that era. Dwight Clark. And he had running
Charlie
backs.
Young.
He had running backs.
Yeah.
Wendell Tyler, Roger Craig.
Yes, absolutely.
Later on, Tom Rathman. Then you get John Taylor, Jerry Rice, Brent Jones. Those are iconic weapons.
Yeah.
Russ Francis was a very good tight end.
I know. They had very good players.
Very all-pro tight end who Bill Walsh coaxed out of retirement. It's like, yo, come play for the Niners. We'll make a move for you. And Russ Francis was awesome. So everybody needs weapons.
Absolutely.
Everybody needs weapons. It's just like in basketball. Everybody says, oh, man, head coaches can't win without stars. Duh. It's a superstar-driven league. Phil Jackson couldn't win without Jordan. Well, I love to see everybody else try to win. You know what I'm saying? It
I
just
hate to
doesn't
be
make
this
sense.
guy. I lost 2 straight years. We didn't win a game, my boys' team. I'm not going to say who's on this team because I don't want to disrespect these young men. They're all in high school now. We didn't win a game for 2 years, okay? My girls' team, we didn't lose a game for 3 years. You think talent matters?
Yes.
I'm the same coach.
Talent matters.
I mean, a little better here, a little better there, a little worse here, a little worse there. But, like, pretty much the same coach. When I have good players, I win.
Dude,
when I have bad players, sometimes we overachieve, but most of the time we don't win.
It was like our boys in Boston. They were like, we'd love to see Steve Kerr win without Steph. I said, well, I'd love to see Red Auerbach win without Bill Russell. And Dave Cowens.
How's Belichick?
And John Havlicek.
How's Belichick
JoJo
without
White.
Brady?
Yeah, how is he done without Brady?
I mean, I look at your boy. Come on, what's the guy called the prime rib guy?
Who?
He wears the Kango hat. Bruce Arians.
Oh, Bruce Arians.
I mean, Bruce Arians. I can't stand Bruce Arians.
But
when he has a competent quarterback, the guy does win.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.